Hello and welcome back to the channel and the show. Today we will be talking about multiple things. Eric Bailly's supposed injury, Paul Pogba wanting to leave or stay, just his future in general, and United's captaincy, and obviously some new boys to our club. Ahmad Traore, I forgot the other guy, the Uruguayan winger.
Palestri.
Palestri, that's it. Palestri and Cavani, etc. But anyways, if you are interested, please do smash the like on the video and do consider subscribing if you're new. But without further ado, Clayton, how are you?
I'm excited for international break. Very exciting games coming up. Yeah, there's very exciting games. Like right here, Portugal. The Portugal-France games on Sunday. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for that.
That sounds like a good game. The only reason I'm surprised is because you don't really get people often saying that international break. I'm excited.
Always love to watch Portugal. Always love to.
Well, yeah, obviously. My main man. Yeah. The main mans are there. I'm not talking about Bruno. I'm talking about Ronaldo. But Bruno is there, and definitely we'll speak about Bruno later in the show. But yeah, like I said, international duty is coming up. And speaking of international duty, Paul Pogba. We'll start off at Paul Pogba. He, while being on international duty, has said to the press that obviously Real Madrid is a dream for him, right? But so obviously, as a United fan, first of all, we don't want to hear that. Obviously, he's a United player. We wanted Paul to commit this. So yeah, before I get into what else he said, what do you just have to say about the whole thing about him saying basically Madrid is the dream and you not want to play there?
It just is a good PR for the club because it gets the fan base speaking, it gets the fan base panicking, it gets people trying to ship Pogba out immediately because of this. It's just not a good look for anyone in general. When you're at a club, you gotta just say that this is the club you love, this is where I want to stay, and just say I don't want to talk about that club for now. Like you gotta handle it a little bit better. Pogba knows what he's doing probably, so I don't know if he's trying to force a move. Maybe, hopefully not, obviously, but it's just a terrible situation.
Well, before people get too excited and the Pogba agendas come out and they say get him out of my club and all of that, I can say also that in that same press conference he did, however, say, I am in Manchester though. I love Manchester and I'm trying to bring the club back to where it deserves to be, and I'll give everything for the team as long as the rest of my teammates. So he did say that, and I'm pretty sure at the moment Paul Pogba wouldn't be as concerned about his future. I'm pretty sure, I believe Paul when he says that at the moment my main focus is in Manchester. But then also, Clay, going back to the Madrid thing, would you blame Paul Pogba for wanting to leave Man United? Because personally, as a Paul Pogba fan and as a United fan, I don't. They didn't bring in Jadon Sancho. They didn't bring in Erling Haaland. This club doesn't know what they're doing. I don't see a title hope, a title push, a UEFA Champions League push, or any major trophy coming close to Paul Pogba. And if I were Paul Pogba, that's what I want. So I don't blame Paul Pogba to leave. In fact, I know if Paul Pogba leaves Manchester United, if he goes to Madrid, if he goes to a Juventus, he will be lighting it up. And he is the best midfielder in the world.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But just as a United fan alone, it's hard to be okay with your club speaking about these other massive clubs that are actually being a lot more successful than you right now. Because right now, Man United are in the rut that they're in, and we need the class players around us to step up and give their all to the club. So you can't judge it for wanting to go to Los Blancos. Everybody wants to go there when they're older. That's every player's dream growing up, admittedly. But it's a different thing to go out of your way to make it apparent. That's the only issue. That's the only real issue here.
You don't get a guy like me who's like, if I was a professional footballer, I could only dream if I was a professional footballer and I was in the shoes of Paul Pogba. I still had my own personality, obviously. I would never leave Man United. I would literally do everything for that badge. But, not everyone's the same, not everyone. And that's just the reality of the situation. People don't feel about United as how people used to feel about Manchester United. Like I said, I don't recognize my club anymore. And that's sad to say. I really don't. This is not the Manchester United I fell in love with. I grew up watching. This is just horrible. It really is horrible. But I also want to ask you about Paul Pogba, Clay, because obviously he had a fantastic France game. He created 3 goal scoring opportunities, and yeah, it just Paul Pogba he's an amazing footballer. I know people say why can't he do it in the United shit. People blame it on OLEs because they're playing out of position. There's lots of factors. Maybe he just doesn't care. Like many people will say, Paul Pogba doesn't care. That's why he should just leave anyways because he never does it for Manchester. And that is right. I do agree with the people who said he's not living up to his potential in a Man United shirt. I agree with that.
No.
But whether Paul Pogba leaves or stays. Now, okay, I'll ask you a question. You personally, right? Because Paul Pogba has 1 year left on his contract. Madrid come knocking. They're like, listen, Paul, we're not going to give you 100. We're not going to give you United 150 million because your contract's about to end up. Worst case, you just stay the year and you come for free. But we'll offer something like 50 million, maybe even 30 million. We'll give you ridiculous wages, 350 to 400 grand a week. And then that's Madrid's offer. But obviously, United will offer Pogba a new contract. And if United say to Paul Pogba, okay, that's what I want your thoughts on. Paul, we want you to stay here's 400 grand a week or 350 grand a week, bonuses, or whatever it is. Raiola, take extra 20 million because it's like we're signing you again for a 5-year deal. So there's 2 questions. What I'll ask is, would you want to throw money at Paul Pogba and hope that no matter what, he stays? Would you want him to stay no matter what? And also, would you question Paul Pogba if he did just have to stay? Or would you actually think that, if he decides to go to Real Madrid, you agree with that?
Yeah. So, in all honesty, with all this uncertainty around Pogba, I had this opinion before when he was linked with Juve again, when he was linked with the Real Madrids, that signing window where he was just kind of out of it a little bit and looked like he wanted to force a move, kind of. Back then, I just said, just get him out of here. That's something we don't need. We can afford better players from that. And right now, the better player could be Sancho. Sancho is going to be that same price tag. So, I'm sorry, but Van de Beek can step up to first team. We've seen what he can do. So, if the Pogba situation is as bad as it seems, and he really does want to move out, I think we cash in now instead of waiting for the contract to expire and they just get him on a free. It makes a lot more sense from the club just to cash out now, and we can rely on the players that we have, which is always going to be tough. But it just means that we can go shopping in the window. Well, it better mean we should go shopping in the window.
Well, that's what
he thinks. Yeah. Never know what the owners will. They know it's 100 million. Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully we actually reinvest that money straight back into the club. We go Pogba out, Sancho in. Like that's the kind of thing I'd want if Pogba leaves. Because if we don't make a marquee signing after we lose a player that is that big, we failed as a football club once again, and we're going to drop further and further down. And we need to start fixing this. But if Pogba's aspirations are not at Man United right now, he should leave. It's as simple as that. I can't judge him for wanting to move away. There's a club winning a lot of trophies out there. There's a club that's literally one of the biggest names in world football, and are still one of the biggest names in world football, not for bad things though. So why wouldn't you want that? It's fantastic. It's a fantastic move for him. As a player, why wouldn't you want to? It's a giant step up. A lot of players want to do that. A lot of players have done that. And I'm sure he would love to follow the footsteps of some fantastic players that made the massive move up to Real Madrid. So I won't judge him for that. But I do want to see Pogba in the United shirt, of course. He still is one of our best players. He can perform. And he's going to be something sorely missed if that's the case.
Yeah, obviously. To answer my own question, obviously my heart, because Paul Pogba is my favorite footballer at Manchester United. I want Paul Pogba to stay no matter what. Yeah. You give him the money, you give him whatever contract he wants. I know that's not the right way, but obviously, if you're judging it from emotion point of view, obviously I want my favorite player to stay at my favorite club. I mean, that's like my dream. Paul Pogba at Manchester United is ridiculous. But like I said, I don't blame Paul Pogba if he wanted to leave. Heck, even if, no matter how much you love the club, if you, at the end of the day, that's your job, and you're thinking, I've only got like a good 3 years left in my career, I want to go win trophies, I see everyone saying KDB is the best midfielder in the world, everyone saying City is the best team, and I'm here stuck in Manchester fighting for Champions League. I haven't even get to play Champions League. I've got a World Cup, yeah, for sure. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't have a World Cup, but I want to go win major trophies. So if I'm Paul Pogba, I don't blame him. Like I said, I don't blame Paul Pogba. Obviously, heartbreaking for Paul Pogba. Personally, it'll be heartbreaking if Paul Pogba has to leave Manchester United, because he is my favorite player, and I honestly do think that he is, on his day, the best player probably in the world football. Paul Pogba can win you a game. I honestly do feel that I always back him no matter where he goes. I back Paul Pogba. He's one of my favorite players, like I said. And if it's not meant to be, sometimes it's not meant to be. Not like I said, not everyone's willing to just die for the badge at Manchester United. But what I will say to defend Paul Pogba is that you can't say Paul Pogba doesn't love Manchester United. I mean, he's been here for long. He has been here for long. I know he's under contract and stuff, but he does love Manchester United. He came back to Manchester United. He does love this club. He was in the youth academy, so yeah, Paul Pogba. I don't judge him on anything. I'm just gonna see how the situation develops. And United, if they were serious about keeping Paul Pogba, they would have brought Sancho in. They would have brought Haaland in. They would have brought centre back in. They would have showed Pogba, like they did with the Bruno Fernandes signing, that we are serious as a football club, and we are not serious as a football club. So we'll just have to see with regards to that. Also, moving past Paul Pogba, I think that's about everything covered with Paul Pogba. Moving on, Eric Bailly, he was on international duty. There was a picture surfacing around Twitter last night of him looked like he had a hamstring injury or something around his thigh. He was holding his thigh basically, and people were wondering that he was injured. You can imagine, United's defense is at the moment shambolic. There's lots of problems. We don't want Bailly, our best centre back at home, to get injured. We know he's injury prone, so that wouldn't have been good. But he did come out on his Instagram story and said that, hey everyone, thanks for the concern. I am fine. I'm not injured. It was just some fatigue. So hopefully hopefully he's telling the truth. Hopefully he'll be for the Newcastle game, and we'll have Eric Bailly fit. But then I was going to say, Clay, obviously Bailly's injury prone. He's probably going to get injured at some point. And if Bailly does get injured, who's your centre back pairing?
It's the worst question to ask a United fan right now, I think. Who's your centre back pairing?
If Bailly is injured, because I'm pretty sure at the moment.
If Bailly is injured specific. Yeah. So if Bailly gets injured, I doubt we could drop Stabhead, but I personally would. I would probably try to build something on with Mengi and Lindelof then. Try to see if there's something there. Try to see if they work together. Maybe something like that. That's probably what I'm looking right now. Maybe it's Twanzebe, but he's been out for a year.
So Twanzebe is back in full training at the moment, and he's ready to go. I've seen all the PR, nonsense that United are putting out there, saying, Twanzebe is back, Axel's back. And obviously he's going to put that. So, in a fairy tale world, I would love Axel and Mengi. That's in a fairy tale world, but that will never happen. So yeah.
So let's see how Twanzebe looks now since he's back from injury. It's a long-term injury. It's going to take him a while to reach any kind of peak that he had reached last season. Yeah. Let's see what he can do. Let's just see what he can do, because that's all we can hope for at this point.
Yeah. Speaking of Maguire and everything that's going around United, Maguire's captaincy, right? We'll talk about Maguire's captaincy and whether or not he deserves to still be in this team, right? And what it says about Ole. So now, Clay, I'll give my thoughts first, right? If I was manager, if I was in Ole's shoes at the moment, this is what I'd do. I'd tell Maguire, you're not the captain, all right? I'll strip him off the captaincy. I'll give Bruno the armband same time. Bruno, you are the captain of Manchester United, because whatever Ole did. Oh yeah, quick on Ole before I move to the Maguire stuff. I'd seen something today. Sure. I think the United reported it from the Athletic, saying that Ole taking off Bruno wasn't having to do with anything about the argument at halftime. It was actually tactical, and things like that. That don't help Ole. This doesn't help. If that's true, that doesn't help Ole. I said sack him if that's true. If that is true, you sack him. I don't care. You sack him. If that is the truth, I want Ole sacked and gone in the morning. Because this is where I was going to. I was going to say, like, if we're in Ole's shoes, Ole he has to do something, because obviously I want him to succeed, and sacking him won't do anything long term. It's very short term. But because at the end of the day, nothing's going to change with our owners and our board and our structure and everything above Ole. But things like this aren't helping his cause. Keeping Maguire captain, playing Maguire, subbing Bruno for tactical reasons. If you have to play Cavani over Martial when everyone's fit, things like that, and the run is going to go on. He's not the best, but the run we have, PSG, Leipzig, Arsenal, Everton, Chelsea, it's not looking good in all these situations at the moment. So if to go back, I would say is you can give your thoughts on the Bruno thing as well after I finish my point. But yeah, if I was in Ole's shoes, I'd remove Maguire's captaincy. I'd give it to Bruno. I'll say, let's see how you perform, and if he continues performing like this, you have to drop Maguire. I know he's 80 million and everything, but you have to drop him. And I would play Mengi and get Axel back, or even I'd rather have Lindelof. Lindelof also, he's whack. You know, he's decent. He's average. He's average. He's not good enough for United, but he's average. So that's what I would do to start off on. So yeah, what are your thoughts? Starting with Bruno and then obviously the Maguire thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We were 3-1 down at halftime, was it right? 3-1?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 by halftime. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. That was a humiliating loss. Don't judge us for getting on the nitpicky details. But at that point in the game, we still had some kind of inroads. We weren't done. We genuinely didn't have to just sit down and take it, because that's what we did. We took off our best defensive player, we took off our best offensive player, and we just sat there and just went, okay, go score. How's that anything like a tactical masterclass? You'd never, ever, ever see one of the top managers going, so Jurgen, you're 3-1 down at halftime. Okay, I'm going to sub off Salah. Yeah, that makes sense. Just sub off Salah. He's not going to do anything. It's fine. We're just going to sit there and take it. It would have been 7-0 for Liverpool if they did that. That's the reality. We could have actually done something. We literally could have done something.
He is the leader on that team, and
he
in
is.
that game, he was our best player. Bruno was our best player. I gave him man of the match. I thought there was nothing wrong with what Bruno did that game.
Bruno was good. Bruno was really good that game. And he just gets subbed off for 45 minutes. It's unacceptable from the manager. You'll never, ever, ever see that happen. That's unheard of. When you're down, you don't take off your best defensive player, especially when you're trying to win a game. Even if you're trying to close it out, why do you take off your best defensive player with him? What is up with that? That makes no sense tactically. Any 2-year-old can see that. It's like, why are you taking off your best defensive player?
If he took out Bruno and Matthews to shut up shop, he brought on Fred and McTominay, and it was worse. So
yeah. Like, if it had worked, then sure, tactical masterclass. It clearly didn't, though. That's all I'm going to say. It clearly didn't. 6-1. Those changes did not help us in the slightest. We had, like, one offensive actual move during the entirety of the second half. And that's down to not having a Bruno. That's not down to not having the playmaker that's pulling the strings. You just brought on 2 workhorses who did absolutely nothing, essentially. That's not okay. I'll always question Ollie's tactics, but it shouldn't be the time to sack him. But if he's going to start losing his head in moments like this again and again and again, I'm sorry, but if things like this keep on happening, then there's a serious issue. There's something we need to look at, and something's wrong. Because you're taking off your 2 best players, basically, that game. Yeah. And you're leaving on a Pogba who conceded a pen and just didn't know what was happening most of that game. Like, it's a big thing. I don't understand how someone who's appointed as Man United head coach cannot see that Bruno is your most important player and you shouldn't be subbing him off at half time when you're down. Like, that's the worst mistake you could ever make. Even from a leadership standpoint, like you said, it's the worst mistake you could make, and I just can't with that. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, and then also clear the Maguire thing. What are you going to do with the whole Maguire situation? What would you do, should I say? And what do you think Ollie should do?
Personally, I agree with you. I straight up dropped the captaincy of Maguire. He hasn't shown anything like a leader since he's been here. You guys have been questioning before I even started on here with you guys. You guys were questioning whether Maguire was captaincy, and I fully agree. I don't think he is. I don't think he's the answer. There's a lot better leaders on the pitch, and that's saying something for a team that lacks a lot of leadership. There's a lot better leaders than Maguire on that pitch. He's literally just sat there with his hands on his head while Anthony Martial gets a red card. I've seen those pictures circulating everywhere.
You see the video?
It's true. Yeah, I haven't seen the video.
Where the Anthony Taylor gave Martial the red, and then Rashford was like, "How come Lamela doesn't get the red for that as well?" And then Maguire just said it's not a red for Lamela. They'll probably check it, and he didn't agree with Rashford, and he actually backed the referee. I mean, come on.
No, that's the thing. Considering the captains that we've had in the past, you can't do that. You really, really can't do that. You can't afford to be timid. You can't afford to just sit down. Like,
Well, yeah, you look at the greatest captain.
Ash was up in arms.
Yeah. You look at Roy Keane, Eric Cantona, Wayne Rooney, you and my goodness, those guys.
Those people
were
go up to Anthony Taylor. what are you on about, you? What is this? It's not okay. It's not okay to see that from a leader. Maguire's not that vocal either on the pitch. He's never been that vocal leader from the back. He's never been trying to construct a defense. He's never really been trying to do that. And the one time I saw him do it this game, we conceded a bloody goal because he pushes Luke Shaw up. I'm just like, oh my gosh. He's like, Luke Shaw, go cover that. Son runs in between them.
I won't forget on that on the Tottenham when Maguire was like, Luke Shaw, go centre back. I'm going to play left back. And I was like, what? And they conceded, and I was like, I can't anymore.
Yeah. Like,
so yeah, honestly, I think if you're a United fan and you don't think Maguire, I don't think there's one United fan that like, no, leave Maguire as captain. I don't think there's one United fan, preaching that argument. And things like this won't help Ole. So Ole probably won't remove the captaincy of Maguire. He probably won't drop Maguire. And if he still continues to do things like this and lose games, you are not building a case for yourself. Honestly, I'm predicting Ole to get sacked after Newcastle, PSG, then the whole Champions League round basically until Istanbul. I think if Ole, he probably I know Marcus just said that what we did know about Ole though is when his back is against the wall, he finds a way to get out of it. He finds a way to bring it back. And like I said, that's all fair. That's a fact. It's proven Ole against big teams. And when the job is on the line, he gets results. So we're gonna see. I want Ole to do it. I definitely want Ole to do it. But things like leaving Maguire captain, things like leaving Maguire in the team, things like removing Bruno at halftime is not helping your case. And if you continue to do things like that, I know there's bigger problems at the club, but I myself wouldn't want you as United manager, because I think someone said it on the United stand yesterday. I think during the Flex and KG show, or was it the United stand? I can't remember what show. It might have been United Central as well. But someone made a super chat basically saying that Ole is not the problem, but he's not the solution. Now, it's not that black and white, but I thought that super chat was definitely spot on, because Ole is definitely the solution at the moment, because he'll leave United in a better place than where he got it from. I do believe that the team is built, the things that he addressed. I do think that Ole, he does love Manchester United and willing to die for Manchester United, which is something you probably won't get from a Pochettino. I say Bielsa, you probably won't get it. But if he was a Man United manager, I would love Bielsa, but it probably won't happen because he's Leeds man through and through, so that won't happen. So it's probably Pochettino. Let's just say Pochettino. He probably won't die for Man United. Poch is very loyal, but he's not a Man United man born through and through. So there is things like that. But Ole, I don't know what Ole's going to do, Clay. And we can talk about it, because now we have Cavani, won't be there for Newcastle supposedly due to quarantine himself. Amad Traore won't be here until January, and Pelestri. I wouldn't drop Greenwood for Pelestri. I'll tell you that now. I'll give him a chance, obviously, but at the moment he doesn't work into my starting 11.
Yeah. But initially, what we heard about that transfer was he's going to go play for the under-18s and 21s. Like, that's what he was bought for right now. He's not a now solution. Traore was the now solution, and that we could build on. Pelestri was like, in a few years, we'll call upon this kid, and then he'll be good. But for now, he's not. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know. As far as I'm concerned, we have to move Greenwood to the 9, I think, for the upcoming games. And then we fill that right wing gap with one of our many right wingers, whether it be Pelestri, Mata, Lingard, James, any of them could start realistically.
Obviously we will do a Newcastle preview, but Cavani won't be available for the Newcastle game by the looks. So, in terms of the setup for Newcastle, what I'll do is, we'll finish. I think we could finish on this. We'll speak about the other players as well. But what I would do is that I'd strip Maguire of the captaincy. I'll play him. I'll be like, here's your chance. You just lost your captaincy. No pressure on you. Just focus on doing your game. Focus on playing and being the defender. I spent 80 million. Bruno, you captain, you leadership of this team. I know what I'm going to get from you. Don't disappoint me. I know you won't disappoint me. You lead this team. I know we had our differences in the dressing room last week, but that was just to calm me down or whatever. Take the armband. Let's pull from that. Pogba thing is very interesting. I'll drop Pogba. I'll be like, listen, Paul, I know on your day you are the best player, the best midfielder in the world, but you're not there at the moment. I know you had a good France game, but I'm gonna play Van de Beek at the moment. If you really are that good and you really do love this club, when I give you your chance, you bloody take your chance and show me why you deserve to start. So I will play Van de Beek. And in terms of striking, I go Rashford, Kunu down the middle. And you know what? I'm not gonna. It's not a popular opinion, but I actually would play Mata. I actually would.
Yeah,
I'd play Mata.
fair.
I think Mata Van de Beek is just on another level. Mata Van de Beek and Bruno. Woo! It be a
The
field.
creativity is just really good.
Yeah. For at the moment, until Cavani is obviously fit and stuff. But yeah, that's what I would do for Newcastle.
Marshall with a 3-match ban. It's not ideal to have our new backup striker that's just not match fit yet and has to quarantine. That's not ideal in the slightest. But I largely agree with you. But I could also see Ali taking a chance on Palestri. I'm not entirely sure. He may just, but the creativity that Mata's just offering is just unparalleled as well.
Yeah. I almost forgot actually.
So I would be surprised.
Alex Telles, I forgot he's in the club. You know, there's so much negativity, but that's a huge positive. And I'm pretty sure people in the comments are feeling like, Telles? Surely? Telles? Yes, let's talk about Telles. Because that actually might win Mata, you know? Because what if I tell you this? Oli goes 5 at the back. 5 at the back, you play Telles left wing back, Luke Shaw left centre back, Maguire by Aaron on Bissaka, and then obviously Mata probably won't play. So you'll probably have Rashford and Greenwood there. And then the midfield will probably be Matic, Bruno, and Van der Beek. So what do you think about that? Because, you know, now that I'm saying about that, I do remember I said it in the last show, I want him to do that. So if he does do that, I'm happy days. Happy days. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I could see doing it. I think that could be really
effective.
Want it, yeah, I don't want it because I think, like Mark put it this morning, it just results in very dull football. I think that's the best way to describe it. We're gonna have very, very, very dull football in a back 5. We're just gonna sit back. We're gonna hope our defensive flaws don't show up at any given points, and we're just gonna have to counter where we can. It's not ideal for a Manchester United team. But I do think that's probably Ollie's way out right now. I do think that's probably his safest bet on what to do.
Yeah, we've seen him. When his job was on the line, this is his way out. So.
Yeah, he'll find a way out. Ollie's definitely not someone who's just going to sit down and take it. He's a born winner at the end of the day. That's what he is. I'm not going to disrespect the man for that. He knows how to win. He knows what he needs to do.
Yeah, he knows how to win. Yeah, we're talking about a man who didn't give
like
up.
You said, he will do it.
Yeah, exactly. We're
talking
about a man. Let's not disrespect one voice. Let's send it back. You know, I know we are History FC, but let's send it back. Let's not disrespect Ollie, because that man sat on the bench most of his career, but when he came on, he dominated. And he's talking about a winning mentality where if I bring you on in the last few minutes of a Champions League final to secure a possible triple, and I'm like, we need a goal, yeah? Get me the goal. And Ollie gets you the fucking goal for a triple. You know, no, who can say that? Only Ollie can say that. He's the only man in the world that says, I secured, for the treble. This is for the treble. I know Ramos did it, but this is for the treble. Level. And that was to win it in 90 minutes, not extra time. 90 minutes, he won the game. So yeah, Ollie is a born winner, like you said. You know, I don't like to. Like I said, I want Ollie to succeed at United, but he needs to do things where I can back him. You know, if he drops Maguire and of the captaincy or drops Maguire completely and we still lose, I'll be like, you know what? Yeah, he lost, but as fans, can we complain? Because that's what we wanted. We wanted Bayer to start as well. So can we complain? We said give Bayer the chance. He gave it a chance. So if he does things like that, I got no complaints.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. It's just seeing that change means a lot. When we're just stubborn in our one way, it's Pogba, Bruno, and Matic or the highway, basically. Yeah. It's a very stationary team right now, and we can predict it with our eyes closed almost week in, week out. There's very little complaints with that, and when you're actually making those changes, we can see that you're trying to progress. We can see that you're trying to move forward. But if you're just sitting there rocking the same thing week in, week out, where it's clearly not working, something's got to give. Whether that be you as a manager or the players just actually having to say something and speak up and just push Ollie to actually make a change. Because I doubt Bruno's going to sit there. I doubt Matic is going to sit there and just go, yeah, we're doing fine. We're just going to sit, keep on taking.
For me, there are leaders on the team. For You speak about Matic. I don't underestimate Matic. I think Bruno, if it was me, I'd make Bruno captain and Matic my vice captain. I think that is the truth behind it. It wasn't tactical changes. I think Matic and Bruno bollocked that dressing room. I think that's what actually happened. Matic. I know. We were making fun of Matic. A few seasons back, I took my hands up. I always said, get Matic out the club. He doesn't offer anything.
Yeah.
But Matic turned it around, and that's what I want to see. He shut my mouth up. And he is a leader on that pitch. We see how Matic, we see what he talks about. He said, I don't know why fans get happy for top four. It wasn't good enough last season. We're supposed to be winning leagues and stuff. People they need that from, Matt. Bruno even said, I didn't come here just for this. I came to win stuff. So people like Bruno, Matic, Rashford, to an extent, he's still young. He's got a lot of development, but he is a leader. De Gea, I still believe De Gea could be a leader. I honestly do think that whenever the captaincy, in fact, this way it's hypocritical because De Gea's captaincy got removed for saying that we weren't good enough. This is not good enough for Manchester. Next week, captaincy was removed from him and given to this slabhead, this useless slabhead, for that. And Maguire has put in, and now that's why again I don't blame De Gea for some of the performances. Because if I'm there, I'm like, gents, there's nothing motivating. I was the captain. I said what I wanted to say. You guys removed the captaincy. You guys treat me like this. You brought Henderson in. So, again. So, Henderson, De Gea, Rashford, Matic, Bruno. Those, for me, are the possible leaders. Pogba is a leader, but I don't think Pogba is motivated enough to lead it. I think at the moment, Pogba must just focus on his game. When things are good, obviously, Paul Pogba is a great man to have in the dressing room because, like I said, when you have a happy Paul Pogba, and it's just the guy who's enjoying his football. Oh my goodness, you will pick your team apart. But yeah, that's just where it is. And to actually end off the show, Clay, I got a deep question. I'm pretty sure United fans have been asked this many times in the last 7 years. But Marcus said I must ask, and I'll give my thoughts after you give your thoughts actually. But where do you see this club in 3 to 4 years? Under a new manager, if OLE was to get sacked?
It's tough, it really is. Because I feel a lot has changed with this club. And this, especially from the top, because if the owners are still the same, then I don't see any difference. I see we go Champions League, we fall off, go Europa, get Champions League again with a new man at the helm, and just keep on doing that. And that's okay with our owners. Which is obviously not ideal as United fans. It's nothing you want to see. It's nothing you want to hear. But it's just happened with OLE now. It's happening before our eyes. He doesn't get his backing. He gets second-rate signings compared to what he wanted. Not disrespecting the players we got. They are very talented footballers. And they could definitely do a job at United. But it's not the players OLE wanted. And that's very clear. And that's just going to happen time and time again. Maybe 1 year the squad strengthened just enough to actually make a push for something. But I realistically don't see us winning that much. I don't see us actually pushing further than what OLE's got in here. I don't see us going that much further. Maybe one season we could win something, but past that, I just think
we won't win a major. Let's just say out of the big two, we won't win a Premier League and we won't win a Champions League.
Yeah, I could see us winning Europa, I could see us winning an FA Cup or something like that. I don't think, unless Liverpool and City literally fall off a cliff, I don't see us picking up the pieces and just going on a title run. It's going to be really tough with the competition ahead of us. But it's definitely possible with a new manager. It's definitely possible. Someone who offers a broad range of tactics could definitely pull something off if Liverpool and City show some more weakness. But yeah.
I was gonna say that I don't. Obviously, it doesn't happen. I touch wood. It doesn't happen anytime soon because, like I said, we all want OLE to work out. But if OLE does, let's just say, in a hypothetical world, OLE gets sacked tomorrow. Who's your manager?
Yeah.
Your favorite. I know it could be. You could be in a job. It could be a bit unrealistic. But who would your first choice manager be to replace OLE?
Yeah. It's a tough one. So if it was just anybody in the world of football right now, I would like to do what Everton's done, in all honesty. I would put OLE assistants and I would let Ancelotti handle everything tactically. I think that is a really, really good way to manage a squad. You have Duncan Ferguson, who loves the boys respect him, and I think that's the same relationship OLE has with them. That's the same kind of thing. It's the past player relationship. and then you have a master tactician in front of him, you're going to win games. It's as simple as that. You're going to start winning games. We may not do exactly what Everton has done, obviously, but we have the players, we have the class, we have the money. There's no reason why we shouldn't do something like that. Ali's well respected. I don't think he should be without a job at Man United if he gets sacked.
Yeah, it'll be hard. It'll be too hard.
Yeah, I genuinely think assistant manager, he goes into that slot. He keeps everybody happy, like he's been doing. He keeps on doing whatever he's been doing to get the players behind him, to get the staff on his side, all that good stuff. Because that's what Ali is. He's a very nice guy, and I just think we need someone in front of him just to take charge of everything else that needs to happen in the game. Because Ali's after.
But who would that guy be? For you, who would that be?
So, in all honesty, I think that could be a Bielsa or an Ancelotti. I think it's between those two. I think I want a master tactician. A more realistic option. I think the only realistic option, in all honesty, is Poch. I don't think there's anybody else that's even somewhat realistic besides that, because we would probably need to take them out of a job, and that's really hard as United.
I know lots of people want Nagelsmann as well. So.
Yeah, but again, that's taking him out of a side that's just made it to the Champions League quarterfinal. I'm sorry, I think he's good playing.
No, yeah, that's like, especially if Leipzig beat us. You'll be like, I smacked your team twice and you went beat companies. You met.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, so that I know lots of people like Nagelsmann.
Yeah,
obviously,
exactly.
he's a great
I would love him. Yeah, he's clearly brought a lot of players.
Yeah,
but a proven tactician is someone I would aim for, in all honesty, and then Ali behind him. So Ali not completely out of the picture. I think he still has lots to offer this club. A lot to offer this club. Maybe not as a manager, but he has a lot to offer this club.
To answer my own question, 3 to 4 years, I don't see any change. I'm at the point as a United fan where I honestly believe nothing long term in terms of winning a Premier League and a Champions League will be done under the current ownership, the current structure. Ed Woodward basically, and above all the shareholders. I don't think anything happened. I think you get Bielsa, Pochettino, Pep, Jurgen, all in the same team to manage United. They'll fulfill. They won't get you a Premier League. They won't get you a Champions League. And yeah, I think that, if Oli did have to get sacked, I wouldn't want that. I actually agree with the Clayton. I would move him to assistant manager. And then like I said, fairy tale, I agree with the Clayton. You bring me Bielsa tomorrow, baby. I'm smiling. I'm backing United no matter what happens. Because that is my favorite man. That is my manager. Bielsa is my manager. I'll be singing Bielsa at the wheel. We could be losing 4-0 every week. I'll be like, he knows what to do. Trust me. You won't even lose. I know what Bielsa. Bielsa won't let it happen. He won't let it happen. Bielsa is my definite manager. It probably will never happen because he is a Leeds manager, and Leeds and United rivalry is just too much. But I love Bielsa, man. He is my favorite manager.
What he's done at Leeds is fantastic. Yeah. I'm sorry. What he's done there is
I can only. I'm in amazement every time I watch him every week. I heard stories about him, but I was like, I want to watch him now. And now I'm just addicted. I went on YouTube. I'm learning about his past. I learned that he actually coached Pep and Pochettino. Pochettino and Pep were like his babies, if you want to say that. His students. And Pep even said Bielsa is the best manager in the world. So. Yeah, Bielsa is just, my goodness, he is he's a legend, a walking legend. Yeah. Definitely. So yeah, he would be my number one choice. Obviously, second choice I would probably say Poch is my second choice. But yeah, Bielsa definitely. If Bielsa was like, I want United job, I'll tell Oli same time pack his bags, right? ship him to the system.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that the importance of Oli can't go under the carpet. He is very influential. I don't want Oli to completely lose his job. I know it sounds very emotional and like if you want to do something, just do it wholeheartedly and sack him same time, And they're like, how would Oli feel? Like, listen, Oli, I don't want you to be manager, but are you willing to be assistant? He probably would be, but I would probably say that Oli inside is heartbroken because he's like, this is my dream, and you're taking his dream away from him. So yeah, we're just gonna have to see what Oli does. Like I said, manager, you can get Bielsa or whatever. Where I see this club in 3 to 4 years, same place I see us now. Doing another show about in 3 years, saying where do we see each other in 3 years again? Unless the owners somehow get nuked. Don't touch wood. It must happen. Touch wood, it happens. Touch wood, it happens. They get nuked. They get hit by a bus. They plane crash. I don't care what happens to these owners. I don't lose sleep. Ed Woodward also, London bus hit him. I don't care. I'm sick of them. I don't I usually don't condone violence. I condone violence against these laws. That's for sure. I do. If I was in England, oh, Edward, you better sleep with your eyes open, my friend. If I lived in England, I'd fetch. If I was in America, I'd fetch the cases. I would fetch them. I would do something. If I was somewhere else in America, or if I was in England, I would definitely try to do something. Because, like I said, I live for this club. I love this club with all my heart. It's just not the same club it used to be, and obviously, I need it back. I need to go back to where people are scared of Manchester, because at the moment, I wouldn't even be scared if I was Fulham looking at United. Mitrovic hat-trick, you know what I'm saying? They're there. But like I said, our next round of games will be next weekend. Obviously, Newcastle, we will be doing previews, match reactions. Let's hope it's not depressing, because the next 6 weeks could be hella depressing as United fans. So yeah, let's hope OLE does something, pull something out of his ass. Let's hope he gives us reason to back him. And yeah, until then, we'll check you if you are new and you did enjoy the video. Do smash the like button. Do consider subscribing. And from Clayton and myself, we'll check you in the next one.